Alright, today we're going to be talking about NXT, a second generation cryptocurrency. Or maybe sometimes I refer to it as NXT or NXT, either one of those. So this is the main website here. We got www.nxtcommunity.org. I pulled up the what is NXT, and just to real briefly hit the main features, and then we'll actually pull up the client and walk through that. So it's a cryptocurrency, so it's got the basic functionality of Bitcoin. It's decentralized, and everything's built on top of cryptography. So one of the first big differences is NXT or NXT is proof of stake, and that's got a couple implications. So one of the awesome things about proof of stake is that mining does not require tons and tons of dedicated mining equipment. So Bitcoin, the amount of computing power and energy used up by Bitcoin is growing larger every day. The amount of power and consumption that the Bitcoin network takes to process the mining or do the transaction processing. With NXT, it's built on proof of stake. So rather than doing proof of work and everyone doing lots of work, it's proof of stake. So people who hold a decent amount of NXT, they can tell their client to help process the network transactions. And basically, it's relying on the trust that no one person can take over more than 100% or more than 50% of the network stake. That a majority of the people holding the cryptocurrency will be honest members. So NXT, and just to clarify, proof of stake is the first. There is Peercoin, was one of the first proof of stake coins, and they did run into issues with hackers, and implemented some kind of centralized checkpointing system to kind of provide additional network security. So it's kind of an argument against proof of stake. However, NXT does not have any centralized checkpointing happening. So it is fully decentralized, and there is no core group of people that are checkpointing the blockchain to say this is the right blockchain. It dynamically forms a consensus. The jury is still out on whether that will stand the test of time. I certainly hope so, because it's a better system than I think it's a better system than proof of work for the long-term sustainability. But there's a lot of naysayers out there that'll just hear proof of stake and they'll write it off because of past issues with it. But NXT's been running live for about 8 months, 6 or 7 months now, and I believe it first went live in February. I could be mistaken there, but I'm sure someone will correct me. But a lot of people just hear proof of stake and they think, they associate all the problems with Peercoin had, and that NXT has not had any hack on the proof of stake underlying mechanism that I'm aware of. But again, it's in terms of maturity, it's much less mature than Bitcoin. So here's a good time to point out that the whole cryptocurrency world, never put in more than you can lose. Well, I have lots of faith, and I've put in some money into cryptocurrency. The general advice for people that are thinking about investing, just be careful out there. Do your own research. Don't take people's advice for granted. Do your own research as much as you can. All right, so that's proof of stake. The other issue with proof of stake is people say that the initial distribution of the coin or the units was not fair. So NXT had an open period where anyone could contribute Bitcoin, and then in February, an equal share got distributed to the people who invested initially, and that was around 70 different individuals. since then, a lot of the original investors have sold, and there's been an open market for people to buy and sell NXT or Next. So now a lot more people are stakeholders or holders of the coin. And actually, I think the actual distribution of the currency, the distribution curve, there's actually a higher concentration of large holders in Bitcoin than there is in NXT. So there's definitely some debate around that, whether it's fair or not. I think any of these cryptocurrencies, there's issues with how to do an initial fair distribution, because the people who miss it initially are always going to say it's not fair because they weren't involved. So there are some other people trying to do similar, that they're taking that as the whole reason to create a new coin, is to do a better distribution. Next is completely written from scratch, so it's not just a clone of Bitcoin like many of the crap coins are out there. And the amount of features that NXT brings, alias system, messaging, and asset exchange. I think the asset exchange is hugely important. It's one of the best, one of the bigger asset exchanges available in the cryptocurrency space. We've got some other features. So let's jump into the wallet, because I think just seeing the actual, so we'll go to the Get Started page. Just seeing the actual wallet will give you a lot better feel for what NXT is about, and how it compares to other options out there. All right, so there's multiple different wallets. If you just want to hold some NXT, there are some online wallets. So there's 2 online wallets, but the online wallets are just basic, just send and receive NXT. They don't have the asset exchange or all the additional cool features that NXT brings. So we'll do the client. That's probably the easiest one to download. So we'll download the Mac version because I'm on a Mac. Let that download. All right, we'll double click this guy. So I think once you see the client and the care that's taken and put into the design of this, you'll see it really is a second generation cryptocurrency, and it takes things to a new level. Okay, so this is the client. Now, the first time you run it, it will take a while to download. It will connect to the network and download the blockchain. So just like other cryptocurrency wallets, it is going out to the internet, connecting to peers, and downloading the blockchain. All right, so we'll go ahead and it's actually not downloaded the blockchain yet. It's going to be doing that in the background. But we'll say create account. Now on the passphrase, absolutely do not try to type in your own passphrase in here. One of the things NXT does advertise is something about a brain wallet. I'm not a fan of brain wallets. I think the password phrase you use is very critical, that it's not generated by a person. People are bad at creating good passwords. Use the one that's generated here and store it in a password manager. Alright, so we had to copy and paste that. We got to type it in to ensure that we've saved that. Alright, so this is the dashboard here. And actually, at this point, this is download the blockchain. What I'm going to do, this gets us into the client. I actually already downloaded, I've got another wallet over here, another window that I've got logged in with a balance and already downloaded the blockchain. And actually, this is the unreleased version. So the little E here means it's experimental. But I wanted to download this version because show you some of the new features that are going to be coming out very shortly. let's show you just kind of some of the you know, you can see that how beautiful the overview here is. That I think they put together, done a really good job of making sure this is easy to use for anyone. So you can click more info on any of these items here. Well, we've got a transactions, so we can see historical transactions. We've got an asset exchange. So, well, first of all, just your basic functionality, send NXT. So just whatever recipient you want to send NXT to. This right here is your NXT address. So NXT sees right here. So this is what NXT uses instead of like a Bitcoin address. You put in an address or an amount, and right now in NXT all the fees are 1. That will come down over time, but it's currently all transaction fees are 1 NXT, which is about 4 cents right now. So you got to put in your passphrase, and you can send NXT. So one of the benefits of NXT is it has a block transaction or block times around 1 minute. Or just over a minute. So right now the average block generation time is 90 seconds. So what that means is very quickly you start to see confirmations. Now I'll say that confirmations, a shorter block time, it doesn't give you more security quicker, but it does give you more consistent time frame to get that security. So for instance, in Bitcoin, six confirmations is pretty secure. Six confirmations on average should take about an hour on the Bitcoin network. However, sometimes it may take 3 hours just because the probabilistic nature of how the blocks are generated. In NXT, because blocks are generated more often, I'm not sure what level of time frame equates to that same level of security on the Bitcoin network, but assume just for argument's sake, 60 transactions in NXT is equivalent to about 6 confirmations on the blockchain. So on NXT, if you're processing, if you're going to buy a car from someone or something that's thousands of dollars, you might wait a full hour to get those 60 confirmations. And what's nice about NXT is about 1 hour, you're going to get about 60 confirmations. It's not going to vary. It won't vary nearly as much as it will in the blockchain network. All right, so we've got 2 transactions per hour blockchain. So this is about the underlying, but this is kind of nuts and bolts. We don't really need to see this stuff. But let's jump into the asset exchange. So the asset exchange, actually I'm going to have to go look up and see find a testnet asset. Alright, so I finally got an asset ID. Now, in the actual wallet, so again, I'm using the testnet, so it was harder for me to find these assets, but for the actual wallet, you just go to NXT Blocks Info, you take this asset ID, copy that, and you hit add asset, and you paste this in here. And all that does is let you interact with that asset. So once you have an asset in here, we can buy and sell these. So let's see, there's a sell of this, I don't even know what this is, AGWO. So this is, again, just test net. So I want to buy 0.001 of these guys, and I'm willing to pay this price, 0.001. Okay, so quantity of 0.001, we're going to buy one of these. So we're going to put in a buy order, and I'm going to type in my password here. I do not say that. So now we've had a buy order submitted. So I put in my buy order so that it should go in pretty quick. But we can come up here, so we see we have an open buy order. And the last one here, we can actually issue a new asset. So I can make up any asset I want. And I go to description, and I can, say we're only going to have 2,000 of this asset. We're going to be divisible by 0.1 decimal place, and that's it. We won't actually create an asset, but so this will create a brand new asset that I can then sell these out on the open exchange. So this is all this functionality is in the standard client, ready to go today. People are using it heavily. Marketplace, this is actually a new feature that hasn't gone live. Again, we're on the test net here, but pretty soon the full-fledged marketplace will be live in the NXT client. And what this gives is a fully decentralized method to list, buy, sell goods. So you can, the first page here is newest products, purchased products. So these are things that I've purchased in my account. Pending orders are goods that I've sold that people have ordered that I haven't delivered goods yet. And you can list products for sale. So I can list a widget, fine looking widget, and I give some tags. I can put whatever price I want here, quantity, whatever. So now we've just listed a new item out on the blockchain for anyone can buy. So my pending orders are, so this is something that I sold. Hey, I just made some NXT. Product 10 NXT for sale, price 100 next. So I'm actually going to deliver this, and he sent a message to me. So I have to use my passphrase to decrypt the message to me. And he says, this is a test of the encrypted message. So now I can actually say, so data, I will send your NXT shortly. And then I will say deliver purchase. Well, actually, I'm going to copy and paste this guy's this address. Say deliver purchase. So in the purchase that I delivered is encrypted with his key, so that when I deliver, so if I want to put like a key or some kind of digital good in there, no one else can see it because it's encrypted with their key. So now let's, since I told him I was selling them 10 next, let's go ahead and send them some NXT, and you can see the process of how do we send someone some NXT. So send. So now we sent him, we'll call this buyer of my 10 NXT. So now we have the contact. So let's go down here to contacts. So you can just basically, contacts now, this is one of the few things that is just stored locally. There's just keep track of addresses that you send. But now also, which is new in the NXT client, is messages. So we can, if we go to contacts, we can send him a message. Let's say, buyer of my NXT. Message, hi, this is a message for you. I sent your 10 NXT to your account. Copy and paste my password in here, and we'll send the message. So we've got also aliases. You can create aliases. So this allows us to put in domain names or IDs. Actually, we'll hit register an alias, and there's an account, other. So you can have, so this allows us to, if you do want an alias that's visibly out on the blockchain, I could put in, my name, Matt Robertson, and I could make this an account, and I put in my NXT address. So that way, I can broadcast that Matt Robertson is a short name for my account ID, so that way people could send money right to Matt Robertson without having to use my whole account ID. Also, you can put aliases for sale and transfer them to other people as well. Polls. This is also new. This is not in the live client yet, but you can do polls. Everyone can vote. This is the polling is not. I don't think polls actually goes into the very next release, but maybe 2 releases out. But that's it. So that's I think my demo I was going to try and do about 10 minutes, and then now we're probably at 45 minutes or an hour. So we better cut it short. But another cool thing that just came out was the multi-gateway. So multi-gateway allows us to transfer Bitcoin directly into the NXT ecosystem. And what you get in turn is an asset, a Bitcoin asset. So you can essentially hold Bitcoin in your NXT wallet. And what that allows us to do is to move Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin in and out of NXT very seamlessly. There is still a small bit of trust involved, and I'll walk through that, but I think I'm going to put that into another video. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.